guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the Lemfo LF07 smartwatch, and you're looking at it here. It looks very much like the Apple Watch in pretty much every way. The band itself is almost like identical to the sport watch band that you get with the Apple Watch in feel. So real quick, this is a Bluetooth watch, so it does connect with your Android or iOS device. Now for my purposes today, I reviewed it with my iPhone. So I was connected to iOS, so that's pretty much exclusively what I used in reviewing this item. And I must say that I was very skeptical at first prior to receiving this watch. I thought it's probably going to be pretty cheap, but I was actually very impressed with the way it worked, its responsiveness, and just the features. It was much better than I anticipated it being. So I'll run you through a few features, some of my favorites real quick. We won't go into everything because it does miss the mark on some things. I mean, they tried to add a ton of features, some of which work okay, some of which work well, but some of them completely missed the mark. But they weren't crucial features to me, so I really didn't mind. So first of all, it charges over here on the side. You've got your 4 little dots there, and it's a magnetic. So as soon as it touches it, it just attaches there and plugs into USB on this side. So that's how you charge it, and that is included also in the box. It comes with a little manual, and really that's about all that comes in the box. So real quick, let me switch it back to the format that it comes in, which also mimics the Apple Watch. If you go to the Smart Style, then it kind of has like the little icons like the Apple Watch. Now you'll notice that it's not quite as smooth as the Apple Watch would be, but I wouldn't expect that either in a $70 smartwatch. But I just thought it was difficult to figure out what all these different icons did in this particular mode, so I switched it over into the 4-app mode, and that's where I've left it because I can easily see, because it labels every single item and you know what it does. So this is how I preferred to have it. Now perhaps once I get used to it and know what all the icons mean, I'll switch it over to the other one because it is a little bit easier to access all of them. But for now, this is the method I prefer. So the touchscreen, very responsive. I mean, I haven't had an issue at all with it not responding to my touch. So it works really well. I mean, it's relatively smooth. It's not an Apple product, can't say that enough. So don't expect that when you get it, and you'll be fully satisfied. So one of my favorite features is simply enough is the clock. So it's got several different clock faces you can use. This is the one that I prefer. It shows the time, and it kind of has a little parabolic symbol, and the dot goes around as the day passes. It does have the feature when you bring your wrist up that it auto turns on, and that's pretty good. Let's see if I can, there you go. You saw it right there. So that works pretty well. I mean, there's a few times I bring my wrist up and it isn't perfect at turning on, but most of the time it does and really works quite well. Let me flip the other one, the other one. There's another one of the settings, the clocks. This one's also nice, however I did not like how it said insert SIM the entire time. I would probably prefer this face, but it says insert SIM, so it just looks kind of beta and not like it's an actual screen that I should be leaving it on. So I didn't like that, because on the back it does have a SIM card that you can use this watch independently of any phone. And you don't have to have the SIM card to use it independently either, but if you wanted data or whatnot, then you would need a SIM card. And I did not test that function, but I wish that didn't say that on there, because you have your access to your alarms and the phone and whatnot there. Let's see, there's another one, and okay, I think we're through most of them, yeah. Okay, so a few other features I really like. The battery life on this thing was pretty impressive. The first time I used it, I wore it all day, and this is the first time I had it, so obviously I'm, fiddling with certain settings and whatnot, and then I charged it for like 20 minutes just before I got in bed because I wanted to try the sleep feature, and ran it all night on the sleep feature, and then in the morning still had it on wearing it, and it went for over 24 hours with just a 20-minute charge in between and still never died. So the battery life on this thing is quite amazing. So that was one of my favorite features. Notifications. So I do have this set up to my phone, and it does do notifications, which are really quite cool. So when I get a text, it'll pop up here. If I get an email or any notification that my iPhone receives, it will pop over here, which is really, really cool. However, there is one, I don't know if it's a bug or just the way it works, that is a little bit irritating. But if you have, for example, if I have in my inbox, 10 unread messages and I don't want to mark them as read, every time the notifications come through, I get those messages again. So if you don't clear them on your phone, the notifications, and actually read the email, it continues to send them every time it sends notifications. So that is a little bit irritating because I typically keep my mailbox clean, but not always. So when I don't, it bugs me when it sends it through. The Siri function, that was another one that I thought was really cool. Here, let me find it here. So this will actually talk to my phone. Oh, check my Bluetooth connection. Let me see if it's actually connected. Oh, there you go. So you have seven notifications. Oh, 8. Just must have reconnected. My phone must have disconnected. And there you go. You see that I'm getting all these notifications again because I currently have like 20 unread messages. So if I click through there, I mean, you can see I have all these Instagram ones that haven't been cleared. Amazon, I mean, a bunch of them. So I just need to dismiss those. See, now we're going to run into this issue where I'm just going to constantly get notifications during this review. Now you notice as those notifications went through, it wasn't making a noise, it was actually vibrating, which is a nice feature. I'm glad it has the vibration on there because I didn't want to ding every time that was happening, but it does have the option to have a sound when that is going on. So let's say, go back over to Siri, and I will just say, it connects to my phone, and actually, let me bring over the phone so you can see it. Call Mom. Okay, and I better not actually call her. So I'll end that. But yeah, it'll actually call, and then not only will it call, but then it will use the watch as a speakerphone. So you can actually have the conversation through the watch, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not the best quality, and it's kind of hard to hear if you're like driving. You have to hold your hand up to your ear because the car noise. But you know, when I made a few phone calls on it and people said they could hear me all right, it just kind of sounded like I was on speakerphone. So not bad. The one other feature that I really liked was the pedometer right here. Now I forgot to put it on today, so I don't actually have any. So let's go to the history and we can see how many steps I've gotten over the last few days. So kind of cool. I mean, it worked out pretty accurately. I went for a run on the treadmill and I would watch it and it would count as I stepped, and it was pretty accurate, so that worked well. On sedentary mode, this is the mode similar to one of the features on the Apple Watch as well. You can tell it to remind you how often you want it to tell you to stand up if you haven't been moving. So if you have a desk job, and I've used that and it works well also. So a few things that kind of missed the mark. The app for iOS that actually connects to this was a big fail on as far as my testing went. It wouldn't sync. I never was able to get it to sync properly with the watch, so I mean, it was essentially useless. So that was a disappointment. And the sleep monitor, which I thought would be a cool feature, let me show you that real quick. So the sleep monitor, you hit start and it essentially just starts counting and says good. And I tested the sleep monitor out at my desk as I worked, and trust me, I was not sleeping, but it still said it was good as I moved. And so it was just, it doesn't, without connecting to that app, because that app had more information, it really gave you nothing. So that was one of the fails. If I look at, I mean, there's the one that I did at my desk for 30 minutes and it said it was good. So kind of missed the mark there. But overall, I mean, it's got a camera on it, which is pretty cool. I'll show you the camera real quick. There it is, looking back at the camera. It kind of sounds like one of those old cell phones. And you take a picture, and they're really not that great, but it does have a camera, so that's pretty cool. Overall, for a $70 watch, I think it was much better than I expected, and it's something I would actually see myself using. I didn't think I would initially. I thought it would be pretty cheap and not work that well, but it actually worked better than I anticipated, and I really actually liked it. So I thought it was a great watch. If you want an entry level, if you want to test something to see if you really should spend the money on an Apple Watch, this would be a great thing to do, to just see if you'll actually use it and how much you like it. You don't have to pay big bucks for it, but it has a lot of the same functionality. So anyways, I liked it. I hope this review was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I will try to respond as soon as I can. If it was helpful, click yes or like below, and thanks for watching.